Hello everyone, Scott Taylor here, RSAC Karate in Flin Flon, Manitoba. Before we start our workout program, I just wanted to introduce myself and give a little bit of insight into what we'll be doing. So as Executive Director of RSAC organization, which is Rural Selects Athletic Club, we have a mandate to promote and develop high performance athletes. While we cover a range of sports, our primary focus right now for 2021 is the sport of karate. The system that we study here at the dojo is called Weichiru. It is primarily a protective art used only for self-defense. We do also work with Coaching Canada, Karate Manitoba, and we have developed a program for sport karate as well. The basics, however, for karate are unique whether or not you are studying the protective side or the sport side. So what we're going to do is we'll start with the fundamentals. We have our basic stance, we have our basic punch, and our basic block, and our basic kick. So in this video, we're going to address the opening, the basic stance that we use in Weichiru, which we call Sanchin Dachi. Sanchin stance, Sanchin, S-A-N-C-H-I-N, essentially means 3 battles or 3 conflicts. Some people refer to it as the hourglass stance. Throughout the videos as well as the dojo, we just refer to it as Sanchin stance or Sanchin Dachi. So without further ado, we'll go into the opening of the stance. So if the camera pans down, our feet start with our heels touching and our toes comfortably apart, not too wide and not together. Okay, so we start from this position without rising our body up. Without lifting on the balls of our feet, we're just going to turn our heels out or push our heels out. And that's it. That is the starting position. So we come back, we have our heels touching, and we would address any formality here, a bow or the start of class, etc., etc. Our heels come out. Now this is the position that we're going to start in. Our feet are approximately shoulder width apart. Okay, too wide or too narrow is easily adjusted, as well as your foot position is different for each body type. Okay, so heels together and then come out. Now, to start the Sanchin stance, one foot, I'll use my right foot, is going to take one small step forward, like so. And if the camera comes around to the side, you'll see approximately that my heel of my front foot is in line with the toes of my back foot. Again, this is approximate. It's not exact. It's whatever feels comfortable to you. Okay, camera comes back to the front. Now we're not finished in this position. To finish the Sanchin stance, the front leg is going to push the heel out slightly. And that is the completed Sanchin stance. And I'll show it again from the beginning. So I'll come back. My heels touch. On the command of whatever the instructor or the coach tells you to do, you will push out so they're comfortable. One foot will take a short step ahead, so the heel of the front foot is in line with the toes of the back foot. And to complete the positioning of the stance, the heel pushes out. So now that we have the essence or the basic opening of Sanchin, I'm going to show it from the left-hand side, the left foot forward this time. And once you're comfortable practicing just the opening move of taking a step forward and kicking that heel out or pushing that heel out, we're going to add to it, add a variation to it. So if the camera comes in, this time we'll start with the left foot forward. So our heels push out. And you're going to notice a little bit of bend in your knees. And you need to do that to get comfortable into the stance as well as to protect your knees from any undue stress. So now our feet are approximately shoulder width apart, and I'll take a step forward with my left foot, and once I'm comfortable, I'll push the heel out. And again, if the camera comes around to the side, my feet are approximately in line. That is, the heel of the front foot is in line with the toes of the back foot, approximately. It will adjust and it will differ from person to person. Camera comes back to the front. So you can practice feet together, take a step with your right foot, open, take a step, and come back. Feet together, open, left foot, get comfortable, and come back. Open, right foot, and come back. Open, left foot, and come back. Once you're comfortable with the feeling of opening in a position and getting your front foot forward, that's not too far, not too narrow, and where you kind of feel centered and balanced, we're going to add a variation to it. And I'll use my left foot here for the example. So we start with our heels together, toes pointed out slightly, and the first movement's the same. Push those heels out. So now my toes are facing forward. This time, instead of bringing my left foot straight forward, I'm going to move in what we're going to call a semicircle or a half moon. And as I move my foot forward, I'm going to scrape the bottom of my foot on the ball along the floor. So it looks like this. And complete. Come back again. Out, left foot. And you'll notice that when I stop, my heel is already in position. One more time. And relax. This is a short drill, a short exercise that we do quite a bit when we first start out developing being comfortable in the Sanshin stance, that is moving from a natural position into a defensive posture with the Sanshin stance. That's 1 foot forward, turned out slightly on a 45-degree angle. So this drill, or this exercise, is called 8-step. It's very straightforward, very easy to learn, and it's a drill that you'll use over and over again through our forms and through regular training, whether it's for protection or for competitive avenues. So if the camera follows me over to the square that I have marked out on the mat. So our position starts, our feet are shoulder width apart, and you can do this with or without tape. We found it easier to teach it with the tape in place. So it's a series of 8 steps, just the way, just as it sounds. So you just put our hands on our hips, and we're going to lead with our right foot. So number 1, right foot takes a step, and then we fall into position and make sure our feet are in a Sanshin. Lift up and come back. Okay, again. So number 1, we're leading with the right foot. So 1, and back. Number 2, same thing, we're moving forward, this time with our left foot. So 2, set up, and back. And you'll notice that in 1 and 2, as we return, it's our back foot that leads the way. So to start, our forward foot leads, and to return to the starting position, our back foot. So we'll go step 1 and step 2. So 1, and 2. So number 3 and 4 is moving backwards, and we will start with our right foot going back. So that's our right foot will go back into a left Sanshin. So number 3, and you guessed it, number 4 is just the opposite foot. 4, and back. So to recap, we'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you get more and more comfortable, you can fall right into Sanchin position. That is, your forward foot can land and immediately turn in, or you can plant and then turn your foot out until you're comfortable or doing whatever is comfortable to you. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the 8-step. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we'll do the final 4, or the next 4 of 8-step. This time we're moving off on the diagonal. Okay, so we're still facing forward. Nothing's changed that way. It's just from the starting point to where we stop, we're moving on a diagonal. So if we come over to our square again, number 5 is we're going to lead with the right foot to the right. So 5, and this time when we set up, we're either facing an attacker or moving into a defensive position, facing on a 45-degree angle. Same as before, the back foot will lift up and return us to the starting point. Number 6 would be to the left and back. And now 7 and 8 are moving backwards. We're going to lead with the right foot. 7 and 8. So, to do the entire set slowly into the count. Feet start in a neutral position. Ready? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is the basic 8-step foot position, or 8-step drill. Now with that, we cover all 4 directions: forward, back, and then all of the angles. As you get comfortable practicing it, yes, it's very basic. However, all of our defensive and offensive moves, whether in protective karate or in sport karate, can be based and are learned from this essential 8-step pattern. We can add to it, so maybe a slide and then a step, or a long stretch and then come up into position. We can retreat, we could do a quick step, back, and then into position, and so on. We can add our blocking techniques and our kicking techniques. It all stems from being able to cover the 8 directions. So the 8-step foot pattern, or 8-step drill, is absolutely essential, and although it looks basic, it covers every type of foot position that we do in Wei-Chi karate. The basic punch is comprised of our 5 fingers. However, the striking aspect, or the striking point of the punch, is only on the first 2. So, to make a proper fist, put your fingers together, thumb sticking out, and we start at the top, and we're going to curl our fingers in from the top knuckle all the way down. Now here's where we get problems. A lot of times that thumb inadvertently gets stuck underneath like this. We don't want that. The fingers are together. We curl from the top all the way down, and we're going to take the thumb and just tuck it over. The thumb is always outside of the other fingers of the other knuckles. Never, never do we want to strike like this. That can break. Fingers together. Start from the top, curl all the way down nice and tight, and we're going to tuck the thumb underneath. Okay, so practice that a few times on your own. So that's the fist. Now let's learn how to use it. Some styles will bring their hand down to their waist to launch a strike. In our style, Wei-Chi-Ru, we do not. So we make a fist. We're going to turn the fist so the palm is facing the sky. And all I want you to do is draw it straight back. Okay, so it's not down low. It's not up high, up at an angle. It's flat and just pull straight back. If I were to open my hand, I should be able to set a glass of water on there without spilling. So I couldn't have my hand here. And it'd be no good to have my hand there or the water would spill. So it's flat. To my count, all we're going to do is we're going to extend the arm straight out. So I'll do the first one facing the camera. So from here, I would count 1, and we push the arm all the way out, and we have not turned it over yet. Okay? So coming straight out is fine. However, in this instance, for us, I'm going to bring it in slightly and back. So now when I punch, imagine a line running straight up and down along your body. Okay? If you were punching to defend yourself, you would be punching the center line of someone standing directly in front of you. So it comes out, coming in on a slight angle. So the arm and those knuckles are coming into the straight line of your opponent. Once we have full extension, that is, the arm is extended, the elbows flexed, and we're not leaning, it just comes out naturally. I want you to turn that fist over. Doing it with one hand can get kind of confusing. So actually, if we use the other hand, we can help it along. So here's what we're going to do. Feet comfortably distance apart. We're just going to start with one fist out. And if you notice, you look at my knuckles, my hand's not up, my hand's not down. The knuckles are in a straight line with the rest of my arm. So now approximately to the center of my body. Now the other arm is going to help it along here. So I'm going to go 1. Now the arm, we'll call this a chamber. The chambered arm is going to come out. So 1, it comes right underneath. 2, now we're going to rotate it over. 2 and 3, I'm going to pull my other arm back. So 1, 2, 3. By doing this together with both hands, it helps me get my positioning right and my target right. That way one arm's not punching up here and the other arm's punching down here. We're going to go to the same spot, roughly right at the end of your chest, and just down, there's a little soft spot right there. That's where we're aiming for. So 1, arm comes out, 2, twist it over, and 3, pull the other arm back. It can get a little bit confusing. Just remember you're going left, right, left, right, left, right, every time. So from the side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's important to note here that this arm, the punching arm, is not forward. I only extend to my natural limit. I don't reach. If I have to reach, I'm too far out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I want these two knuckles have a line of sight from my eyes right down through. That way I know that I'm punching in the right spot. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Now when you're comfortable, you can speed up the process of that roll and returning this arm. See what I mean? 1, 2. So when we start learning it, extend, then turn, and then pull back. When you're comfortable, you make it happen as 1. So as this hand starts to go out, this hand starts to come back. 1, 2, 3. And there you have it. That is your basic punch. Of course, there's variations and adjustments. This is just a very simple explanation of how to start. So work with that. If you have any questions, fire me off an email or put a comment below. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.